Call the meeting to order at 7:07 on October 19th, 2021. I would like to have everybody turn off your cell phones if you haven't already done so. And I would also like to have a moment of silence for Patrolman Al Williams and Police Officer Paramedic Richard Liptak. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Doug, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome our new Law Director, Brian Gernert. Welcome.
Thank you.
We hope you don't go crazy dealing with all of us.
Good luck.
Yeah, it's a challenge. All right, roll call.
McKeever?
Here.
Myers?
Here.
Me?
Here.
Truca?
Here.
Sheriff? Here. Vogt?
Here.
Allsep? Here.
All right, anybody from the general public would like to speak? Please state your name and address.
1675.
Hello, my name is Kurt Krauser, 1415 Michigan Drive.
Yeah.
I also would like to congratulate Brian on his recent appointment. And the reason I'm here is I recently purchased a property in the R1 zone district, and so far since we've enacted zoning, I don't think we've had much trouble with home builders, because a lot of times we've got local builders that have, built custom homes in our city. But something has came up recently, and I think council should look into possibly redoing the zoning in the R1 and possibly some of the other districts, because it appears the type of homes and the building styles and stuff like that, I actually was shocked when I found out, talking to Landon, what kind of homes could be built in Bucyrus. Just for example, can a pole barn home be built?
Yeah.
And things like that.
And they're nice.
Yeah.
I just think, like, just for example, if you drive out to like Arrowhead or something, I don't think those type of homes is what people in those areas want. But it hasn't been an issue so far because the builders haven't pushed it. But I just think.
So you mean, okay, let me digress so I make sure I'm following you. The type of homes you're talking about are the barn dominiums they call out at Arrowhead? Is that what you're saying? They wouldn't like those kind out there?
Well, I'm talking like manufactured homes,
okay.
Stuff like that, double wides.
Okay.
Should a driveway be allowed to be stone, or should it be a minimum of blacktop? Just simple things like that. Should electric service be allowed to be aerial coming into those homes, or should it be required to be underground? So, I can come back if you guys refer it to plating. I can give you some examples at a committee meeting, but it's just something that I'd like to see possibly.
So you want to see building codes?
Stricter zoning codes. That's what I was.
Zoning codes or building codes?
Zoning.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like building codes when you start talking about what type of house you can build, what type of driveway you can put in. Now you're starting to talk building codes.
I don't know anything about building codes, but I don't want to be like in detail stuff, just the outer line, can a double wide manufactured home be put in a certain zoning district, things like that.
Madam President,
Yes.
I'd like to refer this to plating.
I have your motion, I have a
I'll
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No, I'm not opposed. I was just gonna say, would it be possible, I guess, as a start, maybe pull like, possibly like a Westerville or a Dublin's zoning codes? Because that's kind of leaning towards what he's kind of saying is, I mean, if you're gonna start asking for things like that, that's kind of the way they develop their neighborhoods. You have standards that you have to meet to be able to build in this neighborhood, or if you wanna, you gotta build it like a like structure, the one beside it, or, so. I'm not saying we gotta go that detailed or that strict, but that's kind of along the lines of what.
I would think I'd rather look at communities similar to us, like Upper Galleon, not so much your Dublins.
But you start looking at those and they're gonna have the same zoning codes we have because they're smaller towns. He's looking for bigger city-style zoning codes. That's why I was saying.
HOAs have those
Yeah.
building codes.
Right.
One example would be like Polk Township around Galleon. They're a rural area, but they do not allow double wides, pre-manufactured homes in there.
So is this more about building codes or double wides? Because you keep coming back to double wides and manufactured homes.
Well, that
So
would
that's-
that would go into zoning.
Right, I understand that. I'm just trying to pinpoint what
I'm
the
just
real
using
issue
that as an
is.
example,
Okay.
because it's more clearly defined.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure it out.
But I mean, you could look at like pole barn homes, I mean,
There's a very nice one going up on
Technically,
Mary Street.
There's a nice one up on
there is a
Spears.
pole barn home on there.
Oh, he's getting ready to put it up.
They're,
Matt Ensley's.
what's the name of the company? Morton Building Style Homes. That's what they are.
You know, and maybe that's something that you can allow in a R2 zoning, but prohibit in a R1 zoning.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in an R1, so I looked at building a garage behind my house. I gotta come 7 feet from this line, 7 feet from this line. That leaves me a one-stall garage. I mean, that R1 zoning, I don't understand why.
Water runoff.
I'm across from the high school, so I'm setting
Yeah,
high.
It's a water runoff issue.
On R1 is a water runoff.
No, why they got that 7 foot by 7 foot. Because, I'll give you an example.
But two houses down is an R3, and they only have to be 2 foot.
Whenever I lived on Walnut Street, the garage that's in the back of my old house, I had to be, they told me I had to be at least 5 foot on one side, 8 foot on the other. My neighbor built closer than that to the property line. Every time it rained, I walked for 2 inches of water into my garage because it was all coming off of his garage. He had 24 to 48 run water. That's
We'll
what
discuss it after.
I feel it's
Yep. All right,
I'll give
this
you
is,
another example, like, can somebody build a home completely out of cinder blocks? I think according to our zoning, you currently can.
Our tiny homes.
That's something.
There's a cinder block house on Mary Street.
Actually, my duplex was completely cinder block before it got covered in siding.
Mine is a cinder block.
okay, we've got this referred to plating, so we'll discuss it further there. So moving on, anybody else? Chuck, did you want to? Okay, did you have anything else, Kurt? Okay. All right, communications and petitions regarding the Bucyrus Public Library Board of Trustees. We had a letter recommending a member for appointment.
We're doing this as a roll call vote, or do you need a motion?
I need a motion,
I'll make
a
a
second,
motion.
and a roll call vote.
McKeever,
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Me,
Yes.
Truca,
Yes.
Sherrick,
Yes.
Folk,
Yes.
Alsept.
Yes.
Thank you. We have duly appointed Mrs. Nancy McMurray to the Bucyrus Public Library Board of Trustees. Do we have any other communications or petitions? No. All right, moving on. Standing committee reports, plating?
I don't have anything to present, and I don't have anything for finance either.
Public lands?
Nothing to present at this time.
Health and safety?
Nothing to report.
Economic development?
Nothing new at this time.
Service?
No report.
Traffic Commission, the mayor is not able to be with us tonight, so there's nothing there. All right. Report of city officials.
You want a motion to accept those?
Second.
There's nothing,
There's
there's no
nothing.
reports.
I'm just, it's on there.
Nothing there.
Just make sure.
If there's nothing there, we don't need to have a
There's
first and
nothing.
second.
We don't read the mayor's report.
We're
That's in the next section.
getting there.
That is next.
I just interrupted her so rudely.
No, you're fine. As I said, the mayor was unable to be with us tonight, but he did send a report. I would also like to remind anybody who does submit reports that those need to be turned in at 2 o'clock the day before the meeting. Thank you to all who took part in the Community Care March on Saturday at the Art Park, and to the organizers for all that you are doing to deal with the opioid addiction in our community. I urge all of you to support this most worthy community organization with your time and/or financially. From Shines Art Park, we ventured to the Port Bucyrus Airport for the bicentennial fly-in. Thanks to Fred Fisher and his committee for organizing a wonderful event. Thanks also goes to the Rotary and Kiwanis for a fine breakfast, and for the other volunteers, including the Wimford Interact Club and the airport manager, Kevin Detrey. It was great seeing the historical B-25 airplane. Loretta Schmuller was honored as the first female airport manager in the U.S., and plans are in the works for a permanent monument in her honor. It was a great event. In the evening, we welcomed lots of ghosts, goblins, and ghouls at the Linda Friend Memorial Spooktacular held annually at Von Miller Park. We had another great crowd, and everyone went home happy, thanks to all who worked on making this event special for the children of our community. The Fire Department Union, IAFF, led the effort with many financial contributions from area businesses. Thank you to the American Legion volunteers for cooking hundreds of hot dogs, and special thanks to SSD Wagner and Administrative Assistant Kelly Patterson for the extra work you did to make sure the event ran smoothly. Finally, yesterday the community celebrated 35 years of Earth, Wind, and Flowers Garden Club with an event at Hordes. These folks have made excuse me, a special difference in the appearance of Bucyrus, and their work doesn't go unnoticed by our citizens and travelers as well. Thank you. Thank you what you have done for. Thank you for what you have done for us. And that's the mayor's report.
And then
Yes. All right. And Safety Service Director's report. First thing he has, service line insurance. He said that we have paid $7,427.74 since May 1st by the insurance program, and this is the $1 that is collected on each utility bill each month. The airport project, number 2, they're working 7 days a week on the taxiway expansion project to get it completed, and we have update meetings every Wednesday at 9 a.m. at the airport to stay up to date on their progress. Number 3, the parking lots. The projects have started and the paving should begin soon. The schedules have been posted on the city's website and have been sent to the media. Thank you for all your understanding and patience during this process. It will be worth it in the end. Number 4, mill and pave. The project has started throughout the city. Pavement Technologies. This company completed the sealing of the streets that were paved last year. This will help the streets last longer. Number 6, the Nevada water line. We have a meeting with the EPA on Wednesday, October 20th to go over our application for the Nevada water line project. Number 7, sewer separation. We heard back from the federal EPA and we're working on a response to their questions about the sewer separation plan. We will keep you updated. Number 8, leaf season. Leaf season begins on November 1st. We'll be able to put your leaves in the tree. You will be able to put your leaves in the tree lawn. The compost site is open every day from 8 to 2. Number 9, Veterans Day. All non-emergency offices will be closed on November 11th. Trash will be picked up Thursday. Excuse me. Trash picked up for Thursday, November 11th will be on Friday, November 12th. Sorry. please have your trash out by 7 a.m. And number 10, Thanksgiving. All non-emergency offices will be closed on November 25th and 6th. Trash pickup for the 25th will be on Wednesday the 24th, and trash pickup for the 26th will be on Monday the 29th. Please have your trash out by 7 a.m. on those days. Okay. Mr. Law Director, do you have a report?
So I don't have anything written, but were a few questions that had been submitted to me.
Okay.
There was a question about the ordinance that was passed concerning 1411 North Rents or North Sandusky Street, whether the council was able to amend which council it came out or which committee that it came out of, and then pass that amended ordinance just here on the council floor. I think that was the question. Pursuant to my reading of City Ordinance 111 or City Code 111.111 or City Code 11.111, the proper procedure in my mind, no amendment shall be received for discussion without submitting it back to a committee and then bringing it back. So I think the proper procedure, once it had to have been amended, it needed to come back through a council, and then you could pass it through the emergency procedure at a council pursuant to 111.11. You guys can, in my opinion, you guys can pass that at a emergency ordinance, but once it was amended, I don't think that you can pass it in an emergency, add an amendment all through one bang, one meeting. And I guess if there's some clarification as to exactly how all that went through, and if I have some misunderstanding how that went through, I'd be glad to talk to any of you. But it was my understanding it came through public lands, and then when it got to the floor, it was amended to reflect that it came through platting, and then we passed the amended platting, which my reading of the City Code 111.11 indicates that first it has to, that amendment sends it back to committee, pass it, and then we can, at that point. Yes, ma'am.
Motion to send it back to public land meeting.
Second.
So we'll see all those numbers.
All in favor?
Aye. Sorry.
Any opposed?
All right.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can we make this so this is on our emergency meeting that we're planning for finance, to have it also for public lands, have it both on that, on Thursday?
So have it for the committee meeting and then turn around and have it passed at the emergency, or at the special meeting. At the
Special
end of-
council meeting,
That would be amazing.
so we get both of them done, and since there was a mistake, so we get it done.
Yeah.
So we don't hold it up.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
It's up to you guys what you want to do. I just run the meeting.
I
got a question. Anything that we amend like that has to go back through the committee before it comes back to full council. Does that include everything as far as minutes? And
No.
This was a change.
This was a change.
On an ordinance.
We changed it by accident to plating when it should never have been.
Because we talked about it in vote.
Okay. Gotcha.
If you, my reading, and I can reread it, but if you amend something, yes, it has to then be resubmitted to committee and then come back for a first reading or an emergency procedures.
Okay.
But I was trying to catch up exactly what happened because I wasn't here at that meeting, which was...
They were picking you during that meeting.
Right.
you know.
And that's because it's an ordinance, not,
Yes.
and minutes are just
Minutes are just...
clerical.
Right, so technically, and we'll get into the second question, what, I think there was some question about what you guys can do as far as minutes go. As far as, do we have to have written minutes, or can you use verbal audio recording or video recording? And the statute doesn't require actual written minutes. I think that every city council, or a vast majority of city councils, use written minutes because that's the way that we have always done it. There's no requirement that there are verbatim minutes. There's case law out there that if you're going to use audio minutes or you're going to use video recordings, they have to be very clear. There can't be inaccuracies, so if you can't pick up there's inaudible parts, then there's issues with the record, and that could be subject to sunshine law issues. If there are issues with who says what, there are issues that could become problems if there is a lawsuit. But there's a whole spiel about what you can actually do. But council can choose sort of what they want to do as far as minutes. And so the farther we get into the technological age, the easier it is to pick up recordings and things to that effect. But then you also have retention problems. And so obviously if you have audio and video recorded, if you're just saving them on a server and your server gets hacked, then you have issues with those problems. So it would also have to have backups and hard copies and all of that. And I'm not the technologically savvy kind of guy. But so, long story short, the Ohio Revised Code simply says that you have to have promptly prepared, filed, and maintained minutes of your meetings open to public inspection, and the council can sort of choose how they would want to do those. And I would suggest that if you're going to change from your standard written minutes, prepared sort of commiserate with your meetings, that the council choose some way to do that, and maybe have two forms of minutes and have a policy in place adopted by council. But that was a question that was posed to me that I figured I'd research and address to you guys. Yes, ma'am.
So could we do like just an outline for the minutes, like a basic, what we talked about in those meetings, and then also keep a copy of the...
You can, yes. Generally, your written minutes, if you're going to have written minutes, have to sort of include what was discussed, what the general nature of what, who said what, and why the decisions were what they were, popular or unpopular, what was the rationale, who, Councilman Truca's opinion or his basis for his decision, so that if there were some discussion at a future date, people understand the rationale and who was behind what.
So you
not just simply a roll call vote. And that's sort of, there was a case about the village of Cardington, and basically their minutes were a roll call vote, and the Supreme Court said that that's grossly inadequate. And then they said, well, we have tapes of our meetings, and their tapes that they were backing up their minutes were inaudible, and you could only hear part of it. And the Supreme Court said, well, if A, you don't have a policy about your minutes, and B, your roll call vote doesn't explain anything other than who voted yes and who voted no. So those aren't minutes in the spirit of what actual minutes are. So yes and no. You don't have to have a verbatim, every word, every comma in place, every...
But like, so you could do kind of an outline and be like,
Absolutely.
A water line, and then under that one, Truca was for because he had yellow shoes, whatever it was.
If that
I was avoiding giving actual information
That
there.
was his rationale, because he's for water lines, because he
Because of
has
yellow shoes. I mean, you have to be able to clean yellow shoes.
But yeah, generally you could, yes, you could,
But I mean, so that would give the basis, I mean, it gives enough information as to who talked.
Yes.
And what you were talking about, so that you could, and that way if you wanted to listen to it later, you could also look it up. I mean.
In order for us, order for us to do this, do we have to have this go to what committee, or do we have?
It's already in finance.
But I was informed that it may have to go to an ad hoc committee. So that's what I want to clarify. Does it stay in finance? Can it stay in finance, or do we have to form an ad hoc committee? That's why I'm asking you. Just to be, so we are, no questions asked.
For policy.
I think that you probably should form an ad hoc committee, sort of as a general, but yeah.
policies and procedures always in the past, always has been ad hoc.
Yeah, I just want to.
So who sets that up?
We do.
You do?
We do.
At what time?
We could right now.
Okay.
It has to have 4 members.
So who would like to be on the ad hoc committee?
I would like to do that.
I can do it. Unless you would like to do it.
No, I don't care.
I already got your name down, Aaron, too bad. I need one more.
You had 3 on that side. All 3 of them raised their hand.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Meese just.
I didn't hear
If you'd
your
have missed me,
hand
that'd
go
have been fine.
up. I didn't hear your hand go up. Okay,
Okay.
all right, so, and Mark is chair. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you senior man?
Did that have something to do with his age?
So he's the oldest.
Could I also ask that Rebecca be involved in
Oh,
that as well?
Yeah.
100%.
Because she's the one that's been having to deal with all this? That'd be all right?
Oh, plus we need somebody to take minutes of it. I'm retired from that.
I got your back.
So we'll put that on for Thursday.
Or we could meet later.
Well, we can get it started and then go from there.
Okay. All right, anything else, Brian?
That's all I got for
All
today.
right, thank you. All right, Joyce?
Okay, I don't have a report, but I have referrals as usual. I need to refer to finance, various appropriations to make sure we have appropriated funds in place to cover expenses through the end of 2021. I will be reviewing all lines tomorrow and Thursday to check salary lines, insurance, and other personal services lines since we have had additional hires, retirements, and changes in positions which affect these lines. I will also check utilities, gasoline, and landfill costs because these things seem to be rising too. So I will try to have the breakdown of all these numbers for you for Thursday's committee meeting.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Treasurer's report is included in your packet. Does anybody have any questions? Otherwise, we can accept and file.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We also have for consideration for accept and file the September 2021 trial balance cash position, cash positions tally to budget and the revenue comparison that were presented to you guys at the last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We do not have a police report. We do not have fire. I need a motion to accept the city officers' reports.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any visitors would like to address council? Does anybody feel the need for, oh,
No.
Same guy, same address. I just wanted to.
that's not technical.
Yeah, I agree with our new law director's view of that 111.11. I always kind of thought the way that was worded, that stuff should be going back to full committee, but the other law director didn't think so. But I think we're on the right path.
Good job. First day on the job and you're making the guys bend
Yeah,
forever. Look at
kudos.
that.
Give that away.
I was impressed you didn't say gray area once.
No, I want to.
Black and white
well,
with a
I'll
little
look into
highlighter.
that.
Okay, Chuck, do you have anything you want to say? No? Okay. Does anybody feel the need to recess?
No.
All right. Consideration for legislation for the third time is ordinance 31-2021 zoning changes. You have to read, she has to read it.
Okay. Amending and supplementing section 1157.02 entitled Official Zoning District Map under chapter 1157 entitled Zoning Districts and Zoning District Map, under Title 9 entitled Zoning Districts, under Part 11 entitled Planning and Zoning Code of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Bucyrus by the redesignation of the properties located at 815, 825 Whetstone Street from the urban neighborhood residential district into the general industrial district, and also 760 Highland Avenue from the limited industrial commercial district into the general industrial district, and finally 610 Whetstone Street for parcel number listed from the urban neighborhood residential district into the special use district.
Okay, if I may interrupt. You have 815 Whetstone, but not 825. Where did you see 825?
In the original one, the very first one, from their letter that they sent. It's highlighted, it's in the person. It's not on there.
Oh, okay.
On the letter that the planning commission gave to us for this,
Okay.
it says 815 Whetstone Street, and then in parentheses has 825, and then lists all the parcel numbers.
Should it not be in parentheses here then on the third reading as well?
Should, I would assume.
So it has to be
Amended.
third reading as amended, or does it have to go back to,
I think it was on the one before though, wasn't it?
What were the, let me see, this is the same as it was in the first and second reading.
Yes, this is the same piece of legislation. In the letter that came from the planning commission, which was submitted with the legislation request, it says 815 Whetstone Street, and in parentheses 825 for parcel numbers. All those that I read at the first meeting, or
So
first reading.
Addresses are fictitious, these parcel numbers are what actually matters.
okay.
So I think we can just amend it to add the,
If I may, as it's on the county auditor's website, I believe that the way it is written here is correct because it's listed as one entry with 815 and 825 in parentheses. So I think the way that it's worded is sufficient in my non-lawyer
And we
opinion.
have, these are all the parcel numbers
Right.
Right.
affiliated with that parcel, or with that property.
Well, if 825 is in parentheses, it's probably not an actual registered address.
Right.
Correct.
Which is why the parcel number is the only identification to it.
I'm content as written.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
That's fine.
Just checking.
No, I don't think
Okay.
Also for a third reading, we have resolution number 228-2021, a resolution authorizing the city law director on behalf of the city of Bucyrus to enter into an agreement with the Crawford County Municipal Court for the provision of indigent defense services.
All right, do I have a motion?
so
So
moved.
moved.
Second? I'm sorry. Who was,
She was first,
Aaron
he
and
was
Mark?
second.
Okay.
Done.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Does a member of the general public like to present input on the legislation that's been read?
Yeah. Chuck Stone, 1503 Linwood Drive. I'm not familiar with where those are at on Whetstone. Is that being changed over from a residential to commercial or industrial land? Is that what that's being done?
Basically the fairgrounds area.
Fairgrounds
It's the
area.
fairgrounds.
close to-
Zoned wrong.
It had been zoned incorrectly for, I think he said years.
So it's out there where those houses are, right there along?
No, it's
No.
the fairground property itself.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Part that's in the city anyways, so you get
Right.
evacuation.
This will allow the fairgrounds to construct the new building that they're wanting to construct.
Okay. Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
A lot of people don't know that that thing splits and it's actually part of the county, part of the city.
There's a ton of parcels in there.
The 26th is.
Trust me, the fireworks people send it to the wrong fire department every year for the permit signatures.
Okay, just a reminder, there's also a public hearing on this, the 26th at 6 PM, here in council chambers. All right, consideration for proposed legislation for the first time.
Ordinance number 35-2021, amending and supplementing ordinance number 50-2020, being the annual appropriations ordinance for 2021, by appropriating from unappropriated general funds the sum of $131 to the materials and supplies line item and $1,020 to the capital outlay line item, and both after said line items being within the police department category, within the program I-Security of Persons and Property subparagraph, and finally appropriating from unappropriated airport grant funds the sum of $515,000 to the capital outlay line item within the airport category, within the airport grant subparagraph, and declaring an emergency. Ordinance number 36-2021, an ordinance to approve current replacement pages to the Bucyrus codified ordinances and declaring an emergency. Resolution number 232-2021, amending Resolution 204-2021, authorizing and directing Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley Incorporated on behalf of the City of Bucyrus to apply for a Federal Aviation Administration grant and to advertise for bids and to enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder for the furnishing of the necessary labor, materials, and equipment for the maintenance and repairs enumerated herein at the Port Bucyrus Crawford County Airport, 2254 Isaac Beale Road, Bucyrus, Ohio. Said cost not to exceed $1,842,105.50, and further authorizing and directing the city auditor to issue a warrant or warrants as the case may be in payment thereof against the proper appropriation or appropriations, and declaring an emergency. Resolution 233-2021, authorizing and approving the City of Bucyrus, Ohio to pay the 20% share of the cost for the county waterline project as attached, not to exceed $810,870, and declaring an emergency. And then being held for a first reading is Resolution 234-2021, authorizing and directing the Bucyrus Public Safety Service Director on behalf of the City of Bucyrus, Ohio, to advertise for bids and to enter into a contract or contracts not to exceed $380,000 with the lowest and best bidder or bidders for the Percha Road Waterline Project with EPA approval, and finally authorizing and directing the Bucyrus City Auditor to draw a warrant or warrants in payment therefor from the appropriate appropriation or appropriations.
Okay. Excuse me. Do I have a first to accept this first reading?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Any public participation on the legislation that's been read? All right, moving on. Committee report on pending legislation, ordinance 352021.
Finance is favorable to ordinance 35-2021, both various appropriations. Finance is favorable ordinance 36-2021, the Bucyrus codified ordinance replacement pages. Finance is favorable to resolution 232-2021, amending resolution 204-2021. Finance is favorable to resolution 233-2021, which is the 20% water line project. And finance is favorable to resolution 234-2021, Parcher Road water line as a first reading.
Okay. And regarding ordinance 31-2021, the third reading for zoning changes. So I need a roll call.
You need a motion first to accept as a third reading, or to
So moved.
Second.
Now roll call. Now roll call.
McKeever,
Yes.
Vogt,
Yes.
Alsept,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
me,
Yes.
Truca,
Yes.
Sherrick.
Yes.
All right. We need a motion and a second to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Vogt,
Yes.
Sherrick,
Yes.
Alsept,
Yes.
McKeever,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Truca,
Yes.
me.
Yes.
It's duly adopted. Ordinance number 352021 as an emergency for the second and third readings of a proposed ordinance 352021. Do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the readings and the caption and text, and declare an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
McKeever,
Yes.
Vogt,
Yes.
Alsept,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
me,
Yes.
Truca,
Yes.
Sherrick.
Yes.
All right, do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance 35-2021?
So moved.
Second.
Vogt,
Yes.
Sherrick,
Yes.
Alsept,
Yes.
McKeever,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
me,
Yes.
Truca.
Yes.
Ordinance 35-2021 is duly adopted. Moving on to ordinance 36-2021. For the second and third readings of proposed ordinance 36-2021, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the readings of the caption and text, and declare an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Vogt,
Yes.
McKeever,
Yes.
Alsept,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
me,
Yes.
Truca,
Yes.
Sherrick.
Yes.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance 36-2021?
So moved.
Second.
Vogt,
Yes.
me,
Yes.
Truca,
Yes.
Sherrick,
Yes.
Alsept,
Yes.
McKeever,
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Ordinance 36-2021 is duly adopted. Moving on to resolution 228-2021, court-appointed attorney. Having had the third hearing, do I hear a first to accept?
So moved.
Second.
McKeever,
Yes.
Vogt,
Yes.
Alsept,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
me,
Yes.
Truca,
Yes.
Sherrick.
Yes.
Could I have a motion to adopt resolution number 228-2021?
So moved.
Second.
Sherrick,
Yes.
Vogt,
Yes.
Alsept,
Yes.
McKeever,
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Me,
Yes.
Truca.
Yes.
Resolution 228-2021 is duly adopted. Moving on to resolution 232-2021, amending the resolution of number 204-2021. Do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the readings of the caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Vogt,
Yes.
McKeever,
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Me,
Yes.
Truca,
Yes.
Sherrick,
Yes.
Alsept.
Yes.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed resolution number 232-2021?
So move.
Second.
Truca,
Yes.
Vogt,
Yes.
Alsept,
Yes.
McKeever,
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Me,
Yes.
Sherrick.
Yes.
Resolution 232-2021 is duly adopted. Moving on to resolution 233-2021. Do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the readings and caption, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second. Go ahead.
Vote.
Yes.
Sherrick?
Yes.
Alsup?
Yes.
McKeever?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
Truca?
Yes.
Do I hear a motion to adopt Resolution 233-2021?
So moved.
Second.
Vote.
Yes.
Sherrick?
Yes.
Alsup?
Yes.
McKeever?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Me?
Yep.
Truca?
Yes.
Resolution 233-2021 is duly adopted. Resolution 234-2021, Departure Road Water Line. We had our first reading, so I don't think we have to do anything with that, right? Okay. So moving on. Old and unfinished business, there will be a special meeting after the committees on the 21st to vote on the bank depository legislation, as well as the referral from plating.
Public lands and buildings.
Two of them.
Right, isn't that what I said?
Planning on the zoning, all right?
Yeah. Okay. Is there any other old or unfinished business? All right, moving on. New and miscellaneous business, Tuesday, October 26th, we have a public hearing on the zoning changes in the council chambers, like I said before. Sunday, October 31st, will be trick or treat from 2 to 4. We have no council members absent. Joint committee meetings, open projects, anything need referred?
The amendment for public lands and buildings should be on there, right? For the referral.
You got it on there?
And the stuff that they talked about earlier for plating.
So on the referral list, I have the building and zoning codes questions that were raised by Mr. Fankhauser. Going to plating, the 1411 North Sandusky property sale amendment going to public lands, and the appropriations going to finance. There's also the ad hoc meeting on Thursday. Then followed by the special council meeting after the committee meetings on Thursday.
All right. Anybody else? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned at, looks like 7:54.